Welcome to the double leg exclusive show. Thank you for joining us. Let's break down our bets and give you a little reason why we're taking them. All right, 13 fights on the card. We had a couple fights that had to get saved, and I'm glad nothing got canceled. So we're getting a bunch of opportunities here, and hopefully we can get through them in a safe and profitable way. Starting with the main event, Kai Kara-France, Amir Albazi. You got anything on this one?
I don't right now. I'm watching it closely because, man, I've been so close to pulling the trigger on Kai all week, and I do think he has the tools and skills to win, but I'm not quite there yet as far as betting goes. But what do you got?
Yeah, I got Kai on the money line, plus 100, so even money for a unit. Just got to back the experience. And, if Albazi comes out there and is able to hang with an experienced high-level guy like that and looks like he should have been the favorite, I can live with it. But, at plus money, even money, whatever way you want to look at it, I think Kai is worth a shot there for a unit. So I took it, and then I took under 3.5 rounds in that fight at plus 147 for a half unit. I think Kai could knock him out. I think Albazi could knock Kai out, and I think Albazi could submit him. So I think both guys are going to come to fight. Both guys have been finishers most of their career, and both guys say they're going to finish each other. So we'll see how it goes. And then the no house advantage play is under 63.5 significant strikes for Albazi. The only way I see him going over is if it goes over that 3.5, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it could be some ground control time too in there. So, if it does get into the third or the fourth, if there's some ground control in the first couple of rounds, we should be all right. But that's what I got on the main event. Co-main event, Alex Caceres, Daniel Pineda. I got no side in this one. I was leaning towards the Pineda side, but I ultimately just kind of didn't feel too good about it. I thought Caceres he's been subbed a good amount of times in his career, but at the same time, I don't even know if he wants to take it to the ground. So I think the way he's been fighting lately is kind of on the feet, and he's going to have the length advantage in this one. So I think he's just going to stand and kickbox with him unless Pineda goes for the takedown. So the only thing I got in that one is under a half takedown for Caceres. That's part of the no house advantage play because I just don't think he really wants to go there.
Right.
I'll take it. What do you got?
I just got a couple long shot props. I got Caceres round 2 finish by sub or KO plus 550 and a round 3 finish for plus 750. Just basically hoping he survives round 1 because if Pineda is going to win this fight, I do think it's got to be in the first round and a half. We've seen him get tired. He's older. He's off the juice now, but he does hit really hard, and he's a dangerous dude. I mean, he wins every single fight that he wins is by finish. So he's definitely live to win by knockout or submission in the first round, but he gets tired, and Caceres kind of gets stronger as the fights go on. And the one big thing that I noticed with Andre Fili and Daniel Pineda was that Andre Fili was landing that head kick whenever he wanted on Pineda. Had him hurt, almost had him finished in that earlier in the fight. And Caceres has good kicks. He throws really sneaky kicks like the one he hit with Julian Erosa with last fight. So Caceres just got to weather the storm, survive the first round and a half, and I think he's got a good chance to finish him while he's tired later in the fight.
Jim Miller, Jesse Butler, the man Jesse Butler stepping in here on what can be 48 hours notice, just about, because he took the fight yesterday, which is Thursday. This is Friday, June 2nd, so it's going to be just over 2 days. And Jim Miller, the line is interesting. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I initially thought it'd be like minus 300 Jim Miller, so it's not like completely off. The line right now, I think, is what, minus 260 or somewhere around there on BetOpenly at least. So somewhat close, but I just took Jim Miller in a parlay with Karine Silva at minus 102 for a half unit. Just a little bankroll builder. I think Miller should be able to get the job done. Jesse Butler is a decent opponent, though. I mean, he's not like some scrub. He's fairly durable. He's got some good skills on the ground as well. But watching film on him, he gets put in a lot of dangerous positions that I think Jim Miller should be able to capitalize on them because he's got the most finishes in the UFC history. So he's a finisher. I think he should be able to get it done. So I just got him in a parlay. What about you?
Yeah, when I finalized these bets, his props and stuff weren't quite out yet. But I mean, I was hoping Miller would come in at like minus 150, minus 175, and I probably would have hammered him on the money line. I don't have him in anything, but I will kind of look at that knockout prop. I don't think he's going to submit this dude. This dude, like you said, he's good on the ground. The dude's been knocked out before, and these UFC dudes, especially ones who have some of the most finishes ever, they hit a lot different than these LFA guys and some of the lower level promotions that this guy's been fighting. So, yeah, Jim Miller, I think he gets it done. Like I said, I'm going to watch that knockout prop, but nothing official right now.
Tim Elliott, Victor Altamirano. What do you got on that one?
I got Tim Elliott in a parlay with Tim Elliott and Nurmagomedov plus 187 for a half unit. I'm not real confident in Nurmagomedov. That's why I'm not playing him on the money line. I'm just throwing in this little parlay, trying to steal one here. That's all I got with Tim Elliott. I told myself I would hit it, and I'd bet on him if he hit minus 150 anytime this week, and he's just still hovering at minus 188, minus 178, right around in between there. So, yeah, I couldn't quite get there.
I got him on the money line, minus 162 for 1.62 units, so we're getting a unit back there. I just think he's well seasoned in the sport, and Victor Altamirano, if he beats Tim Elliott, like, so be it, man. Then Tim Elliott's probably done. But I'm looking at this one like Tim Elliott's been off for over a year, and he's probably wants to get back in there. Like, after everything, that's probably where he wants to be. So I'm confident in him this week. And I also sprinkled a little on him inside the distance at plus 385 for 0.2 units, just a little sprinkle because he's been talking like he wants to get a finish. And sure, I'll back it for a little sprinkle there, even though he's not been a finisher his entire career. Got a weird feeling, man. I got a weird feeling. And then I took Tim Elliott over 53.5 significant strikes. So a little bit contrast there. So if it does go the distance, I think he should go over there with the strike number. That's on No House Advantage. And I think he should be able to just pepper Altamirano. He's super, super easy to hit. And they're probably going to get in a bunch of different scrambles. And I think that's just the way the fight goes. Tim Elliott could catch him at some point. But if he doesn't, it goes three rounds. I think he goes over that strike number. Hopefully he comes through. Hopefully he's clear-minded, gets in there and maybe wants to unleash some frustration. Karine Silva and Ketlin Souza. I got to say, man, while looking at the size difference between Karine Silva and Ketlin Souza was interesting, man. I was like, if Karine Silva loses, man, that's a bad look because I think Karine Silva should just murk this girl because, like, she looks like a stud, like a literal stud. She looks like she's juicing a little bit. Yep. So I'm going to back that. I already said I got her with Jim Miller in a parlay, minus 102 for a half unit. Also took her inside the distance at plus 110 for 0.5 units. And then I took under 2.5 rounds straight up in that fight, minus 105 for 0.105 units. So we're getting a unit back there. Both girls are finishers. I mean, look at Ketlin Souza, too. She's got finishing ability, and she's been finished a good amount of times. And maybe some recency bias on that line. I was honestly surprised to see it was only minus 105 when I got it for the under 2.5 because Karine Silva's been to decision, one time? And Ketlin Souza, she's been to a decision her past 3 fights. So I think there's just some recency bias in there.
Yeah.
She can get it done on the feet, and she can get finished as well. So I think Karine Silva probably blows through her. Also got under 12.5 minutes of fight time with Silva. to complete the no house advantage play. So let me go over that real quick. The complete NHA play for the week, we're just sprinkling a little bit. We're not too confident on these, so just a little sprinkle. Under 63.5 significant strikes for Albazi. Under 0.5 takedowns for Alex Caceres. Over 53.5 significant strikes for Tim Elliott. And under 12.5 minutes of fight time for Kareem Silva. That's the power play. It was a happy hour boosted 15x for 0.2 units. So there's a little banger right there. Hopefully it can come through. But that's all I got on that fight. What do you got on that one?
Yeah, I'm with you on the under 2.5 rounds. I got it at minus 110 for 1.6 units is what we're playing on it. I'm confident in that, man. I think, like you said, I think Silva comes out and mauls her. And, I mean, I think the levels on the ground is just going to be a big gap. Silva's a freak. But at the same time, if it stays on the feet, Souza's got a chance to knock her out as well. So under 2.5 for sure. And I got Silva and Daniel Santos in a parlay plus 107 for 3/4 of a unit.
Abubakar Nurmagomedov. I got a bunch of shit in my video for supposedly mispronouncing Abubakar, but it's Abu Baker or something. I don't know. We'll just go with Nurmagomedov against Alizu Zaleski dos Santos. What do you got on that one?
Yeah, so I got Nurmagomedov in the parlay with Tim Elliott, but this is a fight that I wanted to pull the trigger on Zaleski dos Santos money line so bad, but something's just off with the line. It's weird. It smells fishy, but I am going to sprinkle on Dos Santos submission because it was plus 850. And the dude is pretty slick on the ground, and Nurmagomedov is going to want to take it there. I could see him catching him with a guillotine. I could see him, getting to the back. He's pretty good at getting to guys' backs. So yeah, I took him at a submission plus 850 for 0.15 units. And again, Nurmagomedov in the parlay. So let's hope one of those two hit.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you a bit because I'm sort of a hedge here. I took Dos Santos inside the distance at plus 215 earlier in the week for 0.4 units, and I was kind of waiting on his money line because I was thinking I was going to take him on the money line if that line kept moving and I could get some plus money on Dos Santos. And then I flipped the script, man. I really did. I can't bet against Coach Habib. If Habib's been in his camp for at least the past week or so, finishing it off. I looked at Abubakar today. Looks like he's in great shape. I think if he could stay safe against the old guy like Dos Santos, who's probably not what he once was. I mean, he should have had that finish against Benoit Saint-Denis. But before that, I mean, split decision loss to Salikov, decision win to Alexei Konchenko, and then a KO loss to Li Jingyang. So he really hasn't had like anything great as of the past, 4 years. So I'm willing to take it. I took Nurmagomedov by decision for plus 120 at a half unit because in all reality, that's probably how he gets it done. That's how he wins most of his fights. And I took Nurmagomedov on the money line at minus 110 for a half unit. So we got a unit invested there. Only way I see Nurmagomedov losing is if he gets finished. And that's why we got the little sprinkle there on Dos Santos at plus 215. So we'll take it. The next fight, we got Daniel Santos and Johnny Munoz. What do you got on that one?
Yeah, I just got Daniel Santos in that parlay, and then I've also got Daniel Santos by finish plus 105 for 3/4 of a unit. Munoz is good on the ground, but he's not like a traditional striker, and he's not, a real experienced striker. Or Daniel Santos is just a dog who's going to hit you hard. He can obviously take shots. I mean, we've seen him get dropped in first rounds, almost finished in the first round, and he just survives. And he's good enough on the ground where I don't think he's going to get submitted by Munoz. And I could see him getting some kind of clubbing sub even or knockout. I just think he gets it done inside the distance. Plus 105 for 3/4 of a unit.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I only got him at minus 105, though, for a half unit. I think pretty much the same thing you said. I'm with you there. Santos inside the distance, minus 105 for a half unit. Andre Arlovsky, Don'Tale Mayes. I could never bet on Don'Tale Mayes, so I had to go with my guy, Andre Arlovsky, plus 115 for a unit. I honestly don't know how anybody could put their hard-earned money on Dontel Mace, even if he is, however many years younger. Like,
Yeah.
there's that statistic out there, they win like 60-some% or whatever when there's that big of an age gap. I don't care. I'm taking.
Yeah, this is part of the 40 probably. This is
Yeah,
like part of the 40%.
this is the exception to that rule. So I'm gonna take Andrei Arlovsky on the money line. I don't see him getting taken down by Mays. I don't see him getting out volumed by Mays. If he wins, he would probably get knocked out or submitted, and I don't see that happening because Dontel Mays doesn't do that. So I'm gonna take Andrei Arlovsky at plus money. That's all I got on that one. What about you?
Yep, I got him at plus money too, plus 110 for half a unit, just a half a unit on this one. Because of the age, really being 44. But you think about it, it's his 40th UFC fight. He's been in there with the killers. He's been champ. I mean, he knows what he needs to do to win. I think the only way he loses is if he gets chinned here, which I don't really see happening either. I mean, Dontel Mays might be the most intimidating fighter that's not going to hurt you. I mean, if I'm being honest, I know he's got knockouts on his record, but you watch him in there and he doesn't really he doesn't really leverage his size and kind of transform that into power when you watch him. Plus, Arlovsky, man, does kind of hit hard and probably will find the chin a time or two, regardless of how old he is. He might look a little bit slower doing it, but man, I just watched Mays in fights like the Parisian fight and Augusto Sakai and just not impressed at all. I think the vet should get a win here. I hope he does too. 40th fight, let's get a win. Let's cash the ticket. But man, this is such a I can't believe I have anything on this one at all. If I'm being honest, it's kind of dicey.
I love it. Muin Gafurov and John Castaneda. What do you got on that one?
Yeah, I went with Muin Gafurov plus 135 for 1.5 units on this one. I know Gafurov is a little bit short notice here, but I'm pretty sure, at least I read, he's been training with Merab. Am I wrong there?
He gets some good training for sure, and it looked like
he was in my notes.
He was definitely like training hard. Like he was trying to stay ready.
Yeah, it's not like he's like off the couch. I mean, This dude's been wanting to fight for a while now. And Castaneda's like, he's good, but he doesn't really blow you away with any one certain thing. I mean, against Daniel Santos, gets finished. I know there was the thing that he had bronchitis leading up to that fight. That's why he gassed. And, he does have a decent gas tank, but Gafurov is just a little savage in there. Wherever the fight goes, I think he should be just a little bit better than Castaneda. And you're going to get him at plus money. I'm going to take him. So, yeah, 1.5 units, plus 135. The UFC debuter, I don't do that often, but I think he's a good one.
Yeah, I'm on Gafurov money line as well, plus 125 for 0.6 units. I'm not as confident, but I think he's the right play here, especially at plus money. I think he can match everything Castaneda brings to him, and then maybe add a little bit onto that. So I'll take him as the dog. We'll move on. Jamie Malarkey, Muhammad Naimev. You got anything on that one?
I do not. Nope. I don't know. The line was too wide. And it's just not a fight that I'm in. I don't know. I just couldn't find anything that really stuck out to me here. So I stuck with my guns and laid off.
I got nothing either. That's one I had to lay off. Mine's just not really playable, and it's like short notice. Who the hell really knows? Yeah. We'll just skip that one. Elise Reed and Jinyu Frey. Another one you might want to skip, but did you take anything on that one?
No, I was close to taking Frey, just from like a data and analytical standpoint. All the money is on Elise Reed. The line's still somewhat even. So I thought maybe we'd side with Vegas there, but again, it's just those type of fights can go completely different than you expect. So I just laid off. Being smart this week.
Yeah, I didn't take a side. Only thing I got is Jinyu Frey over 0.5 takedowns. So we just need one. And if you look at Elise Reed, she struggles on the ground. She's been taken down at least once in every single one of her UFC fights. Jinyu Frey coming off the knockout loss, too. She might want to mix in the grappling a little bit. So she should be able to get one.
Yeah.
I think she has the skills to do it. I think Elise Reed's, that's her weakness. So if she doesn't get one and it goes 15 minutes, she better have at least attempted like 20 of them. That's the way she wins this fight. So I'll take it. We'll keep her moving. 2 more fights left. Damon Blackshear, Luan Lacerda. What do you got on that one?
Yeah, I actually went with Luan Lacerda for 1.3 units to win 1 unit. Man, I wanted to get to Damon Blackshear. I see a lot of people picking him as their underdog of the week, but he had a good showing against Farid Basharat, on the ground at least, like surviving positions, getting he kind of hit some reversals and he looked like he knew what he was doing, and he is good on the ground. But Luan Lacerda is a legit grappler as well, with 10 submissions on his record, and he throws some big kicks to the legs, to the body, and I just don't see Damon Blackshear being able to eat those well and continuing on with a lot of explosiveness. I think that Luan Lacerda can wear him down with those kicks, and if it does go to the ground, I do think Luan Lacerda is going to have the slight advantage. I just don't see Blackshear being as quick too with the striking. I mean, he did hit Farid a few times, but it wasn't anything crazy with some crazy power. Whereas Luan, if he catches one of those kicks upstairs, it could be all she wrote. I mean, he kicks hard. He doesn't really throw many like strikes with the hands, but I think the kicks are enough to sway the judges too. I mean, he beats up those legs, beats up that body. I think that's going to look good. And if they do want to go to the ground, I think Luan's going to be good there too. So I had to take him on the money line.
Yeah, I got nothing on that one, but I'm with you. I think that's the right side. I ultimately didn't get to it, but it's going to be in my parlay I put on my page tomorrow. Luan Lacerda is, so
yeah.
I think he's the right side. But I guess I didn't get around to it to put on the premium plays. Maxine Grishin and Felipe Lins. What do you got on this one? The first fight of the night, kind of a banger to start out.
The double leg free play of the week, Felipe Lins. And it's a fight I've just got a feeling about. I liked his showing in his last fight. I think Grishin, obviously being a tad older, just by a year or two, I believe, but he definitely looks like the older fighter. Lins is almost like had this rebirth at 205, and Lins actually, from coming down from heavyweight, looks pretty jacked for being a former heavyweight. He looks like he's in really, really good shape. He's had problems gassing in the past, especially when he was at heavyweight, but he just comes out like a bat out of hell. You almost guarantee that he's going to win the first round. And if he can just, hold on to some cardio, you got 1 round in your bag there. All you got to do is win another one without getting knocked out, and you're the winner. Plus money, I like him. I do think he can find some big damaging shots as well. He's going to have more volume here. I mean, I would be shocked if Grishin landed more strikes in this fight, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all of that put together, you're going to get the guy at plus money. I had to take him for 1.5 units.
Yeah, I had to too. And I got him on the money line at plus 135 for a unit. And then I got him inside the distance at plus 275 for a quarter of a unit. And I took Grishin under 55.5 significant strikes as well, because I think Lins could put him out. I think Grishin could put him out as well. But I also think there could be some cage control in this one. Smaller cage, 2 pretty big guys. Felipe Lins looks like he's in great shape. And I think even if it goes later, I think he could maybe find a finish as well. So I think Lins is the value side in this one. I got to go with it. So
if Lins comes out like really, really hot and looks phenomenal in the first round, but it doesn't find the finish, and you watch the live odds and like for some reason he jumps to a massive favorite, I'll probably sprinkle something on Grishin just to cover my ass. And if it's big enough, we kind of get a little chance to make money regardless there. So I'll be watching that live odds.
The only prize picks play of the week is under 55.5 significant strikes for Grishin, paired with over a half takedown for Jin Yu Frey. That's power play 3x for a unit. So hopefully we can cash that in and stay hot with that. But those are the plays. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this before the fights, wish us luck, and hopefully you're tailing. If you are, good luck to you. If you're watching this after the fights, hopefully we hit some bets and we can keep the train rolling, because we're going off a pretty hot card against the Dern versus Hill card. So let's keep it going. Thank you, Double Leg fam. If you're watching this after and you want to get in on the premium membership, it's be down in the description below. Follow us on the medias at the Double Leg to stay tuned with all the updates. Till next time, see you.